welcome back to Remove Before Race. I'm your host Raz, and it's my absolute pleasure to give you a first look today of the latest RS car to come out of Weissach. It is the incredible Cayman 718 GT4 RS, and it is an absolutely stunning looking hardcore track car. And this beautiful thing is the result of what happens when you bring Weissach's full knowledge into an already brilliant mid-engine sports car and turn it into an RS. I'm really excited to bring this to you today. This is a 500 PS lightweight 1400 kg track-focused beast from Porche, and Porche have done a lot to improve the already brilliant 718 GT4. I'm going to show you everything from the design, the aerodynamic elements, the unique parts of the Weissach package, and some new changes inside as well. So let's dive in and check out this first look of the brand new Porche Cayman 718 GT4 RS. So today's episode of RBI is once again sponsored by NordVPN. It's an app that I cannot do without on any of my devices, and I'll explain why. Whether it's mobile, whether it's laptop, personal computer, etc. It is something that I absolutely need for other work or pleasure. When it comes to work, it's data, online, protect your credit card information. For anyone active on social media like me, it makes sure that apps like Instagram still think that you're in your home country, so it doesn't restrict the features of those apps. Pleasure, let's say you're using Netflix while you're abroad, it'll make sure you still have the full library accessible to you and it's not restricted because you've visited some other country. So really useful. Returning sponsor, guys, for RBR viewers, use the code RBR, avail this amazing offer, and please support our sponsor. So guys, how exciting is this? A brand new Porche RS car from Weissach, and it is the swan song for the 718 and in fact the entire Cayman series before it potentially becomes electrified, as rumours are telling us. And what a swan song it is. Look at this thing. It's a slightly zany spec, I'll give them that. This is Arctic grey with indigo blue multi-spoke centre locking wheels and of course the yellow calipers behind that. I actually think it works quite nicely, and it's certainly a statement, isn't it? And right off the bat, this car outperforms its sibling, the GT4 on the Nürburgring, to the tune of 23 whole seconds, which is mind-blowing. How does it do it? Let's first talk about the technicalities, and we must start with the engine, which is the joyous news I have to bring you. This features the same engine as the GT3 Cup car and our brand new 992 GT3. Yes, it's the naturally aspirated flat 6 engine, the brand new one in the GT3, hiding behind that glorious carbon cover in the middle of this 718 GT4 RS. And this is an engine that now provides 80 PS more than the standard GT4, a hike in the torque as well, up to 450 Newton meters, and a crazy 0 to 60 speed of 3.4 seconds. Bear in mind the speed that we tested the GT4 at, which recorded a staggering time of 3.5 seconds. No surprises, every Porche we've tested on Control has always been faster. So what is this GT4 RS going to do with the GT3 engine? Is it going to go below 3 seconds? I can't wait to find out when we actually drive this thing. So the engine, fabulous news, and something that makes the RS truly unique versus just doing a power bump on the engine that's in the GT4. Next is the gearbox. Of course, in typical RS fashion, this still sports the 7-speed PDK with its lightning fast shifts and something that Porche is calling sport short ratios on this particular box. So I expect it to be extremely efficient. As you can see here, it features the lovely new shift knob from the GT3. I'll go more into that when we have a look at the interior. Then of course, lightweight savings, all part of the RS package. We have the Weissach package car here. I'll dive into what that gives you later in the review, but extensive use of carbon fibre to bring the weight down. This car is 35 kg lighter than the standard GT4. How do they do it? Well, we have a carbon fibre bonnet that's clearly visible. We have carbon fibre wings as well. Our rear screen is made of lighter glass. We've got the lovely Porche logo on the rear there as well. And there's further measures inside, even stuff like lightweight carpets, which again I'll show you when we check out the inside of the car. The car comes standard with carbon ceramic brakes, so you can see wrapped here in Michelin Cup 2s, which of course reduce weight as well. And we have the magnesium alloys, as we saw in the GT3 and the GT2. GT4RS YSEC package. Standard forged multi-spokes will also be available. I'll give you a closer look at the aerodynamic changes when we have a look around the design of the car in a little bit later in the review. But first of all, some of the obvious things. For example, our swan neck rear fixed wing. Just like we saw on the new GT3 as adopted again from Porsche customer racing cars. And this is exceedingly aerodynamically efficient. You see the lovely GT4RS logo on the side of it again, which looks fantastic. We've got an adjustable front diffuser, we've got an adjustable front spoiler lip, we've got the side blades right on the corner of our front bumpers as well. Of course, the knacker ducts within our bonnet. We've got vents on the top of our wheel arches, as is typical for the RS cars. A totally new feature is having air intake on what used to be the tiny side window on the normal 718. These are the process air intakes, and they improve both the intake airflow, and this will also give an exciting intake noise for the passengers, Porsche say. So that'll be really cool to discover. We've got full underpaneling on the car as well, leading to the rear diffuser. So very aerodynamically efficient. And compared to the GT4, 10% more downforce thanks to all of this. And with both cars in the same track settings, the GT4 RS generates 20% more downforce than the GT4 for the same amount of drag. Now, chassis setup, so important in an RS, and the settings and the way that the chassis is done for the RS is unique to it. So we've got specific spring and anti-roll bar rates for this, the shock absorbers, again, tuned specifically for this car. We also have ball joints to provide better and more precise handling as well, and of course the chassis is adjustable for the driver. Now let's take a closer look at a little walk around of the car in the studio, take a look at all the aerodynamic features and what you get in the YSEC package before we have a quick look at the interior. Right guys, here we are in the filming studio. Here is brand new Cayman 718 GT4 RS. Looks rather good, doesn't it? Look at that. So the spec is interesting. It's of course the Arctic Grey, which first debuted on our Cayenne Turbo GT. And to be fair, I think it actually looks really quite good on the 718 body. Love to know what you guys think. I think the zanier bit of the spec is, of course, the multi-spoke magnesium wheels, which actually works pretty nice because the Arctic Grey is quite a cool grey colour in terms of its temperature. And as you come around the rear now, this is where you appreciate how much bigger that swan neck rear wing is versus the standard one on the GT4. That is massive. I really love the 935 inspired exhaust tips. And then as you come around the side, how cool do the indigo blue wheels look when the light hit them? That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? And the yellow carbon ceramics behind that, I think actually really complement it quite nicely because they're opposite colours, aren't they? So very nice. Right, now let's get closer. Have a look at this front end first. So very, very different here to your standard GT4. Of course, you've got the carbon fibre reinforced plastic bonnet here. Andreas Pruninger let loose that there will be a CXX option to get a painted bonnet stripe like the GT2 RS. Of course, here you have your knacker ducts, as I mentioned earlier, exactly the same style as we had on the GT2 RS and GT3 RS. So the bonnet already, massive difference to your standard GT4, exactly what you want. Got the sticker for your Porsche logo as well. I think the lower front lip being that much wider and with the curtains on the side does make it look actually quite new. If we get closer here, I really like those side blades, they look fantastic. Intake's exactly the same as GT4 though. As we come around the side here, you'll see one of the most interesting features, which is a cut into the wing just behind our front wheel there, which of course helps with the aerodynamic element of this vehicle, and again sets it apart to normal GT4. Love those wheels, have to say. Love the sensor lock, love the colour. Bloody expensive though, that's a 10k option, and even more if you want the blue. And only with YSEC package, of course, but hell, looks worth it to me. If you can get a GT4 RS, it's going to be a struggle in itself, then yeah, definitely liking that. GT4 RS logo on the side there as well, and then on top of our wheel arch, typical vents as you always see in the RS models, which looks really, really good. Of course, as in GT4, we've still got the vent in front of our front wheel to help with engine cooling, and then the awesome process air intake. I can't wait to see what these sound like. They're going to be incredible, and they just look brilliant. Of course, the YSEC package there in carbon, other things on the car as well. Then we come around to our swan neck rear wheel, which looks brilliant. It's different to the GT3 design. In the brackets, of course, with the car shape is different. The aerodynamic benefits are the same though. Much more efficient. All the learning from the customer racing car. You've got a larger spoiler lip on the GT4 RS as well. And then you come to my favourite bit on the rear, which is the 935 style exhaust. They look amazing. First production Porsche to have that style. The views are exactly the same as GT4 as well. Now let's head inside. 718 interior. It's quite old now actually, but they've managed to refresh it quite a bit for the 4RS. Loads of race text. Of course you've got the GT wheel there. Interestingly, no sports chrono knob, which is much like the older RS cars. There you see the lovely GT shifter, which looks like the manual shifter. It's a really nice design. In practice, lovely teaser we saw in the touring when I reviewed it. And as far as our drive design goes, pretty much exactly the same as GT4, but just says RS on there. So nothing too different there. This is previous gen GT product now, if we're honest, taking bits and pieces from the newer one. What's nice is you've got the carbon bucket seats, which have got a lovely blue inlay in them, and then on Weissach back, of course, on the headrest you've got the logo there, and just behind that are roll cage, which also comes part of that package. So nice interior, like the blue belts as well, all ties in really nicely. So guys, that is your GT4 RS, final GT product of that generation, or maybe the new kid on the block for the new generation. Let me know what you think of it. I think it's pretty funny. Just back out for a moment. Can't wait to see you on this thing soon. So guys, as I said at the start, this is an amazing Nürburgring lap. 7 minutes and 4 seconds, which is fantastic for a car of this level. Now the car comes in at 140,000 euros. Starting price, that's before Weissach package. Now this is pretty close to GT3, but Porsche says that this does not compete with GT3. In fact, they say the GT3 is much more daily than this. You must think of this as almost like the weekend mountain bike. It is properly